Did you get a chance to see that fabulous Ollie's haul? Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends, and thank you so much for being here today. And thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful ways that you support me and my channel, the positive comments that you leave, and just all of the words of encouragement every time that I upload a new video. Now, I'm going to have that video linked in the description box below for anyone who might have missed it, or if you want to go back and watch it again because you're headed to Ollie's and there might be certain things that you want to look out for. But I'm a big believer that if I'm hauling it, I'm going to be using it. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be crafting with a couple of items that I got from Ollie's. And I'm going to show you just how easy it is to take this 100 sheet notepad and turn it into 4. So let's flip to the overhead camera so that you can see what I'm talking about. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so here's the pad that we're going to be working with today. It is 100 sheets. I did get this from Ollie's for $1. But you can find pads like this almost anywhere. So you don't have to have an Ollie's to be able to do this project. And here is what we're going to do with this one pad. We are going to turn it into 4 really adorable 3x8 skinny notepads, complete with a little pocket. Easy peasy to do. And so here is what we're going to need to make today's project. I will be using some scrap pieces of chipboard that I have. I have one of the notepads that I picked up for $1, and this one measures 8 by 3. And the paper that I will be using is from one of the paper pads that I paid $1.99 for. It is that Country Home from Park Lane, which was a Joann brand of paper, but I absolutely love this pad, so I decided I wanted to work in the pad. So what I want to do is take this 100 sheet notepad and get 4 notepads from it. You've seen me cut down the notepads before, but I'm not going to be doing that today. We're going to actually have the long skinnies, but we're going to go ahead and count off 25 sheets so that we can have 4 stacks of 25. 5, 6, 7, 24, 25. So then once I get to this point, I'm just going to take my finger blade and just do a slight little kiss cut right here just to get a nice clean tear started. So then I should be able to just cut right through, and I was. So there's 1. I'm going to go ahead and count off the other 3, and y'all, I'll be right back. All right, so now I have 4 notepads with 25 sheets each, and I'm going to bring in my chipboard because I want a chipboard jacket for these. So they're 3 inches wide. I'm going to go ahead and cut my chipboard at 3 1/4 by 8 1/4 because they're 8 inches long. So all of my chipboard pieces will be 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And so to cut it, we're basically just going to go in and cut like this. I can bend this piece and cut here. All right, so I have all of my chipboard pieces cut, and I had these pieces left over when I trimmed down this side. So I decided to go ahead and go with the size that was there. And these are 1/2 inch by 8 1/4. This is a little wider spine than I ordinarily would use on this, but I don't want to cut it anymore, and I don't want to cut a fresh sheet of chipboard. So we're going to go with what we have, and it's still going to work out fine. So I'm going to go ahead and tape my tape and just go ahead and tape my pieces. I am using scrappy tape. All right, y'all, so I've added the tape to my 8 pieces of chipboard as well as the 4 spines. We are just going to put this together assembly line styles. So these are the papers that I'm going to be using, and I'm starting with 4 12 by 12s, and that is how we're going to lay down our chipboard. So I'm going to take 1 long piece, 1 skinny, and one long and put it right there. So let's just put this down like this. And I'm putting it down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. And I'm just going to do this with all of my pieces. So we'll take this piece and we'll put it down right here with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. And we'll do the same thing with this piece. Put it right here with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. Now we'll bring in this piece and do the same thing. And because I'm making 4 of these, when I am making multiples, I tend to do them all assembly style. That way, I normally don't make a mistake when I'm doing it this way. I don't forget a step because I just follow the same steps for each one. And then we're going to bring in our last piece. Okay, so we have them all down. I'll just flip over and make sure that they're all nice and stuck. And now I'm just going to cut out the excess. All right, so for this part, I'm only going to do one of these on camera because the process is going to be identical and we don't need to have a very long video when we're doing the same repetitive process over and over. So I'm just going to pick this one. And I'll bring in my stylus, press it against the chipboard, and then drive it into the paper, giving myself a nice little score here. This really helps if you have a paper that is prone to cracking. This actually might help to minimize the severity of that cracking. It won't eliminate it, but it might help to minimize the severity. So I am going to miter my ends. Then I'll use my tape runner to add some tape to these pieces. I can use my tape runner here because these pieces will get folded over and they will be sandwiched in between the chipboard and the liner. So now I'll stand this up and fold it over, fold over, fold over, and fold over. And now we're going to have a very beautiful little jacket here. So if you have any pointies on the end, just take them and tap them into your desk. And then I'm just going to take my big old spatula and go in between here to get that nice and stuck. So there is the jacket for book number 1. So now I'm going to put this in and let's just see how big it is. It is 7 1/4. So I'm going to need 4 pieces that are 7 by 8 for my inside liner. 4 pieces that are 7 by 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my tape runner and just go ahead and add tape to the actual liner itself. You can also place the tape on the chipboard, but this time I'm just going to place my tape covering the whole liner. And this is the same process that I'll be using for the other 3 that I'm going to do off camera. And I'm going to take this and we're going to put it down like this. So I am going to remove my tape backers. We're going to take this piece and let's just put it down. So now I can take my big old spatula, go in and get everything nice and stuck. And then I'll start working my spine. I'll just go in, make sure that I have everything nice and defined with that spine, flip over to the other side, and do the same thing. And then I'll just take this and just sort of work it a little bit to loosen that. And now I'm going to take my big old spatula and just go around the ends, getting everything nice and squared. So now I'm going to bring in my notepad. My notepad is going to go on the inside like this. Y'all, I am going to make this a one and done, which means that I'll be gluing the notepad to the inside. So I am just going to add a little glue right here at the top. We'll take this and we'll put it in like this. 25 sheets for me. That is going to be a one and done. So there is number 1. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 off camera, and y'all, I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I have done the other 3. I've even added decorative covers to the front, and I am going to do this one with you. So I am going to be using my paper pad, the Celebrate Life sticker pack. And there are so many wonderful sayings in these packs, but there was one, I like this one. What a wonderful life we live. So then I have some of my scrap paper, and I am just going to take it, place it down on that scrap, take my scissors, and just cut across, and then I will cut right here. Might not be too straight, but I'll straighten it up just a little bit. So I'll take my tape runner, add some tape, and we will put this down right here, and it says, what a wonderful life we live. So we'll put that there. I'm going to keep the fronts of mine very simple. I'm not doing much to them at all, but what we can do on the inside, we have this space here. If you want, you can take some of your scrap, and I think I will, and you see how I put it in, and I'm just cutting a pocket, not even measuring it. I just put it in like that. Then I'll cut like this, create a little pocket, and I can put that pocket right there and tuck in different things or different slips of paper if I need to. So I am just going to take a little bit of my glue, add some glue there, and I use Reptile adhesive anytime that I'm using a white glue. And we'll put this right there. So now we have a sweet little pocket. So if we want, we can tuck in a receipt or 2, depending on what you might need to use it for. So here are the 4 books that we were able to make using one 100-sheet skinny notepad. It was a 3x8, so you can probably find those in any store, not necessarily OLLIE'S. You can get them at other places as well. Now, I'm not adding a belly band to this or a closure. So in order for me to get these flattened so that they will close like this, what I normally will do is just take something heavy, put that something heavy on there and leave it overnight. I would do it on each one individually, and that helps it to know that I want it to stay closed. But even if you just took them and stacked them like this, they still want to stay closed because this is the position that they'll be in overnight. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun, quick, and easy way that we can take one notepad and turn it into 4 notepads. We now have 4 single gifts that we can give out, or we can give it as a set, or you can even add something like this to your craft fair. Completely up to you, but whatever you do, have fun with it. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, this is what we do. This is how we do it. And I would love to have you subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.